welcome back to my channel. Today we will be going over all of the changes that I have made in my agendas for this month. So I mentioned in my end of month flips that I wanted to switch things up. I think if you've been following my end of month flips, I've talked about how like, oh, I don't use this section, or oh, I haven't went in there. And so I didn't like that, and so I wanted to make a change, and I finally had time to like sit down and like consider what I want to do. So this video is going to cover how I'm using my two planners. So right now I'm only using my medium ring and my large ring agenda. I do plan on adding an Erin Condren hourly life planner to my stack pretty soon, hint hint. And oh, I just realized I'm not wearing my wedding ring. Please don't tell my husband, he gets mad when I forget to put it back on. Yeah, this video will cover the setups and how I plan to use them together. So the biggest changes were made in my jam, so I just want to go over that. So I've always called this my main agenda. I'm an hourly planner through and through, but I'm also a list person, and I prioritize lists, and that's what I think y'all notice when it comes to my inserts. There's always some type of like list component to it, otherwise it gets taken out usually immediately, just because like I need to like write my lists. So I haven't titled these numbers yet, but I have these numbered tabs from Infinite Lotus in here. And this is one thing that I just really love because it's just so aesthetically pleasing, is how they match. We got the 24, we got the tabs. Little things like that just make me so happy. Let's go ahead. So first tab is now a weekly overview. So these will be my new main weeklies, and I wanted something that I could still put the times in, right? So I wanted to try these out because I just really liked the structure. I also wanted to add some trackers in here. So I picked this insert because I have my to-do lists, I have my little trackers, and then I can have notes for whatever I want. I think I'll eventually use this for school, but right now I'm going to use it for moving. And then I can still put any appointments and times in this area. And so that way it can still somewhat serve as an hourly. I'll just see the times in a different view. So have that. And then I just preset up the previous week. So whenever I move into a new or try a new insert, I always plan the week that has passed, right? So like I didn't date these, or no, I did. So like this is the current week that I'm filming. I set them up last night, right? So today's Thursday, I did it Wednesday. And so I already knew all the plans that I had for last week. So this gives me an idea of how I can use the insert with plans that have already happened. So that's just a preference that I always like to have. And that way too, if I need, like I also wanted to keep track of some of these items in my planner. So that's just like my favorite planning tip when it comes to trying out new inserts. A lot of people just do like random, like, oh, let me test like what this does. I use an actual week, so that way you get a full idea of like how it can work for you. So yeah, we have that. So all I have are these weekly inserts in here. So this will be like the schedule. And then the second tab is for my dissertation. So this is going to be everything that I had in my epi leather agenda for academic. So all of my notes and anything that I printed out for like research is in here, just because since we're moving and since things are so chaotic, I need to narrow down my planner system. And so that's why I really want to keep everything in between two planners right now. So I have these yearly overviews that I still haven't really filled out, to be honest, because I think this was going to be the official plan. And it's also because it was in that separate planner, so I wasn't even using it. So I'll probably do a video soon where I set this up and we can make the plan for like getting my ass into gear when it comes to my dissertation, because I haven't touched it and I really need to. But yeah, so this entire section is yearly overview, where we'll plan out my dissertation and internal deadlines, everything like that. Research that I've printed, and then I have some note inserts in here so that I can use this for anything while I'm studying. So we have that. Next section is a home section. So this is my project planner. This is the current moving plan. I love these. These are from ROSIE PAPETERIE. They are my favorite project inserts. I just love how she's like structured them. And then I just went in with some planner spot stickers in here. I wanted to make it like a little bit more decorative and cute since I'm spending a lot of time in here. We'll probably, in my next plan with me, make it a little more fun. But this is just the overview of the move. And then I just have like random notes back here. And then I added these grid inserts. These are from Agenda 52 from Hobby Lobby. And I'll link the Infinite Lotus ones, which are great. There's also some on Amazon. I just have these because we are selling a lot of furniture and I'm going to be updating our home decor little by little. And so I want to have that in here. And so I figured these were perfect for like kind of doing like a mini vision board of like what I want to do. So I have a few of those inserts in here. So we have that. And so that is the home section. And then this fourth tab is finances. So I mentioned in my end of month flip that I was probably going to turn these into finances. I printed these out, was going to use them for work, didn't use them for work, and now I'm really going to use these for finances, and I really like it. So as I mentioned, I love structure, so this is a monthly view with lines, and I just have everything that needs to be paid written out here. And so my husband and I, with part of the move, we are consolidating our finances, and I can do a budget video once we move on like how we did that, because we've had, up until now, we've had separate bank accounts. We had a joint account for all of our bills, but we never like combined like full on income, and we are going to begin doing that now that we're leaving. It was like our system has worked for us. We didn't have any issues, and now it's just we wanted to make the change, so it works out perfectly. And he's getting a new job, so it'll just make things like transition smoother. So yeah. But with that, I want to start tracking his expenses too, since it's coming out of our account. I think that's another reason too why I like keeping it separate, is like he can manage his own, but now like I'll have to start adding in his expenses and being able to account for that when we do our budgeting. So that'll be fun. And I can see, I don't know if y'all see it over here, we have like the estimates. But yeah, that's finances. And then back here is just notes. So I just made this like a little inbox just for anything that comes in. I can quickly come in, write things down. I'll probably repurpose this for something else later on after the move. But right now, maybe even content creating, probably content creating. This will probably be my content creating section. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. So let's just call that this now. And I can just like list out everything, but it's really ultimately just notes. And then we have more notes back here. So that's why it was just 2 tabs of notes, but I really like the idea of using this for content creating. So this is now the content creating section, and this is just for random notes. So that is the GM, and again, really like it, really like having like a dedicated space for everything. As for the medium ring, I haven't moved anything around, so the only thing that will change is how I use these inserts. So I have these monthlies in here, right? And so any plans come in here first, and so that's going to continue to happen. So you'll see the monthly setups, and we'll throw everything in here. And then from there, I think the monthly setup will also begin to include the weeklies. So I'll every week do my plan with me's in my GM, and then we'll update what's in my medium ring. But I think I'm going to set up the medium ring for the entire month at the beginning of each month and continue to add, just so I have a designated space for things, because I have things that I have to do 2 weeks out before the move right now, 3 weeks out, 4 weeks, whatnot. And I want to set up my planner so that way I can put all that in there. And I think if I do it this way, where I continue to just like preset this up, add things in as they come in, right? Like as they happen, as I know I need to like do whatever. When I'm setting up my weekly and my GM, I can reference this, and it will also serve as a reminder. Because that's one thing that I think can happen when you are using multiple planners, is you put one in one and not the other, or you don't have a system so that way you're ensured checking your plans. So I think if I just, as plans come in, they come in here, we'll set this up at the beginning of each month, and I'll do a video on that too. I already set up the monthly, but maybe we can do one on the full month of April, or I can just include that in my next plan with me. But I'll set this up as things come in. I'll just throw them in here, and then each week with my GM, we'll come in, see what's going on. These will be for dedicated lists, so I'll have everything that I need to do week by week in my GM, and these will be dedicated lists for like content, school, kind of like what we use now, except my inbox will only be in my GM. That'll be the only difference. These will be dedicated categories, so that way there's a purpose, right? So yeah, that's how I intend on using these. And then again, everything else is the same, but I'll still do a quick flip because that's what we're doing. And just in case you haven't seen the previous flips. So I have the entire year in here too, which makes it easier for me to come in and be able to pre-plan whatever I need, right? So I think it makes the most sense to use this as like my inbox, right? Like ultimately a huge inbox. And then the rest is academic inserts. So I have another little like detailed overview of what's going on with my dissertation. And so it's a this month insert and then a note insert, and I can just track down and write anything that I need. So this is going more into the details as opposed to what's in my GM, which will be an overview and then research and notes. I have these project inserts in here. These are for each component of my dissertation. So one right now, with one for the outline, chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. I'll do one for the defense once I get the chapters approved, and so on. But these are just like high level details, deadlines of what I'm doing. And then I have these meeting note inserts in the next tab. These are for any communication in meetings with my chair. Now that we're moving to Washington, I'll be closer to school and can actually be with my chair in person, which will be fun. And so like I'll make sure that I can take this with me, and that way I can take any notes for anything that we're discussing. So we have that. And then again, last tab is always just going to be some notes, so that way I can have space to write down anything that I need to write down. So yeah, that is my planner system, and again, I really like it. I already really liked planning last night once I like restructured this, because I think it makes a lot more sense. And I like that I have everything in 2 planners right now. I don't know, especially the way that they're set up, I just love it. So yeah, other than that, that is going to be it for this video. If y'all have any questions, please feel free to let me know, and thank you guys so much for watching.